Greetings and welcome to the broadcast. I'm your host, and today we're going to look at a new piece of app Bible study software. Previously on this site, McEisencraft, we studied the eSword and Takarta. Those are the top two free Bible software apps. Normally, we wouldn't even, this one called Bible Plus One, we normally wouldn't even test it because they charge money, but we'll go ahead and take a look at it. When it does finally boot up, it's pretty straightforward. You navigate by scrolling or swiping from right to left. You can use two thumbs if you want. Many old people like that. Down here in the lower left, there's a little arrow, and that's the auto scroll feature. Give it a tap, and then you'll have a little arrow here, and there's speed. Tap it once again, and it's auto scrolling. If you snap it quickly right to left, it'll go ahead and it'll actually maintain the auto scroll feature and not kill it or shut itself off. A lot of them shut themselves off. Again, just a quick snap right to left, auto scroll continues. To arrest the auto scroll feature, if you just go ahead and tap a verse, it will, whatever you tap, it seems to highlight it. Maybe a little buggy yet, but no big deal. While we're doing this on the highlight, if you do see something you want to highlight, here's the color palette up here. You can just go ahead, we'll just use red for instance here to show you how it does a red highlight. Also, if you say, let's just say you're having a good-natured argument or a curiosity about the Bible, the search feature is a little bit harder to get at here. Let's just say you and someone are talking about Spain. Is Spain really mentioned in the Bible? Or any word for that matter. You go over here to the dialog box, then you have to go down here to the search icon. I don't know why it's not on the front, and then when it finally gets ready to go, we go ahead and type in Spain, S-P-A-I-N, and just that quick, up pops the two verses where the word Spain or the country Spain is found in the Bible. If you wanted to share the results of your research, when you tap it, of course, it will come up. You simply give it a tap, and then it will show you right here, you are able to send that verse, that exact verse, or put it into a note situation. I'm going to go ahead and send it to either email there or the iMessage. Now the iMessage is a little buggy right now. If I tap iMessage, it pops up, but instead of excising just the verse, it puts a whole bunch of code and stuff in here. There's a couple things like that. I think they're not quite ready for prime time, but nonetheless, it's an app we take a look at here a little bit. All right, get back here to the Bible, and up it comes. All right. Boy, this is... Okay, the bookmark feature is right here. Give it a tap there, that will bookmark it. Let's just go over to see if the red letter, it's always our litmus test. We tap right up here to get to our navigation box. We'll go to Matthew 24, our old standby, to see if the words of Christ are in red. And sure enough, there's our test right there. The words that Jesus Christ spoke are indeed in red letters. So that's good for that much. If you want to navigate we're on Matthew 24, so you want to get Matthew 10, for instance. Right here you could hit just the number. This is a unique feature. And therefore Matthew 10 to excise just that portion of that you want to. And then we're at Matthew 10 right now. So with your thumb up here, it's a little tough to hit. You can actually do it with a little practice, but it would be somewhat of a power tool to navigate scriptures quickly. So just go ahead and go to the note type features. We're reading along here. We see something we like, and we'll tap it. Now right here, we can go ahead and we've shown you already we can put the color palette. There's another little arrow right here to the right of the color palette that opens up a little different situation where you can go like this, and it'll bring up, for whatever reason, it defaults to the actual Bibles themselves. That's really all it does. I don't know if that will actually allow you to highlight that verse in other scriptures as well. I couldn't find any documentation on it, but it's maybe something you might want to play around with. All right, coming back to the OnePlus Bible. If you went into bookmarks and notes a little bit, there's the bookmark right up there. To do a note, you simply select a verse. Go ahead and tap right here. It says note title. We'll just put ONE for test purposes here. And it's just what's on your mind. It's just kind of unusual for a note, but we'll just put color, COLOR, and return. Save. And back here. Now it wants to know, do we want to save these unsaved changes? Let's save the changes. Now, this is quite a process to go through for just putting a note in. When you come back to access those notes, you go back to the dialog box. It says bookmarks, notes, highlights. Tap highlights. There's the highlights we basically put in. Notes in the center part right here. There's our, it says note color. And the bookmark, of course, there's the bookmark. So this is almost an arcane way compared to some of the dialog boxes. But nonetheless, you could probably get used to that and go with that. Now, unfortunately, we're not able to recommend this piece of software. As you've seen, it's a little bit slow, a little bit buggy when it comes to sending things. But more importantly than that, security issues. To read the Bible, you have to come up with some money and pay for it to be downloaded right here, like we had to do. In all fairness, if you don't do that, they will allow you to use some Bibles online only, which means every time you use that Bible online, are records of it and what you did and what you looked at. And the reason you have to be careful now, sometimes it's called being cautious. Cautious as a serpent and harmless as a dove. To be harmless, you would not use this. Let's just say, for instance, you were using this and you looked up Samson in the Bible, to the guy that got his hair shaved off by a Philistine and things like that. He also was a fire starter, a big time firebug arsonist. He started a lot of fires in the Bible. If you were to look that up, and this record was to show for you with this company, this one Bible, and let's just say, Lord forbid, somebody started a bunch of fires in your neighborhood or in your city, you would become a person of interest if these records were ever subpoenaed. What were you looking at? Why were you looking at starting fires in the Bible, as an example? There's virtually no security that we could find that's adequate with this app. So for that reason, we're going to have to go ahead and say no thank you at this time. But we gave it a look, and you took a look at it. Again, these two here, Takarta and eSword, are fantastic for free apps. There's some other free apps out there as well that do a good job, but not quite to the level of these. Well, take care. Best to all you, and Lord bless, and don't forget to study that Bible.